Aloha and welcome to A Course in Miracles. This is lesson 132 of the Workbook for Students. I loose the world from all I thought it was. I loose the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself with a capital S? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. So basically, here in my thought, the idea is that it's saying that our belief and our thoughts have these effects on the world that we perceive ourselves as being a part of, and these effects in this dream world that we're in are as strong as the truth. So we believe that it's real. I mean, I look around, I see the sea, the waves, the birds, this house, these people. All of it is an effect. And all the things that I see going on in the world, they're effect, the Course says, of my thoughts. So, these effects can seem real as the truth to me. And then so we're reading about this other world, and that's beyond the world that we want to see. But since what I am seeing seems real to me, I can question it, but the effects of these thoughts are so powerful indeed that it's hard for me to believe that this is all an illusion. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. It's like a madman who thinks he sees people and things all around him, and you can't convince him they're not there. So we're not going to question the effects and look at the effects. Is this chair real? Is this coffee cup real? We're going to look at the source. What is the source of these thoughts? And it's the mind. It's the mind that's thinking them. And that's what we're going to question, is the source. So, it is when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to us at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind. And in this sense of changing the mind, I don't think the Course is particularly saying, okay, I changed my mind about this decision I made. Like, I wanted ice cream. Nah, I think I want to change my mind. I think I want to not have ice cream and forego the calories. I don't think it's talking about changing our mind that way, but actually changing our mind from the wrong mind of the ego to the right mind of our true self. So we're going to switch out the actual mind that's doing the thinking. And that's the idea that I think that this lesson is trying to get us to see. This is the way that we can and be free, find freedom. So how do we change our mind? Okay. Yet salvation is easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it, with the change of mind. Now the source of thought has shifted to a different mind. For to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think or ever thought or yet will think. It's a different mind now that's thinking them. It's a right mind, our right mind. You free the past from what you thought before by thinking in this other mind. We're freeing the past. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. So basically, by changing our mind from the ego-separated mind to our right mind, we have a different mind that's putting out the thoughts. And this is I think what we're looking at. It's kind of been thought of as, okay, in some of the earlier lessons, like I'm changing my mind, I'm choosing a different thought system, like the Holy Spirit's thought system over the ego thought system. But here we're actually talking about changing our mind from this is not my mind, this mind that I thought was my mind my whole life. I'm going to change it and accept another mind, the mind of Christ, and let that mind be the mind that thinks through me, because that is my mind, not this separate mind, but the mind of Christ. So here's what happens. You free the past from what you thought before, because this new mind is looking at the past totally different. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. You know, and in the ego mind, we're always looking for things and thinking that we want things, only to get them and discover it's not really what we want. So the present now remains the only time. So this true mind that we've exchanged lives in the present, and the only time there is. Here in the present is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts, miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows. Press on it and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. So we're going to exchange our mind from a mind that holds bitter thoughts of death and all these other fears in it to the mind of Christ, and loose the world from what we thought it was. What did you think? What did I think that the world was? Think about that for a second. What do you think the world is? What is the world? And whatever comes to your mind, we're going to let it go. Whatever like for example, I think in my ego mind when I look around that this world is real. But this book tells me that it's not real. So the idea that this world is real and that it has to be real, I'm letting that go. I'm going to loose the world from having to be real, because that's what I thought it was. That's the kind of idea I think that is being presented here. The world is nothing in itself. Okay, it's just neutral. It's out there, it's just neutral. Your mind must give it meaning. So all my life, everything that I see in this world and everything that I think is real, my mind has given it that reality and that meaning. And what you behold upon it are your wishes acted out so that you can look on them and think they're real. Isn't that interesting? Everything I see is my wishes acted out so that I can look on it and think it's real. So in order to see that this world is not real, I'm going to let that thought that it's real go today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to let go of that thought that this world is what we thought it was. All the meaning that we've given to it. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. The world, there is no world apart from what you wish. And herein lies our ultimate release. I mean, this is blows my mind to think that there is no world apart from what I wish. That I am seeing as the world, as real, what I wish to see. That's hard to believe sometimes. You mean I wish to see this world the way it is? How could that be? But that's what the Course is saying, I believe. So, because we're seeing what we've created with our thoughts, that's the powerful idea, is we created this mind, and by taking back all that we've thought the world was, in other words, we're the one that's giving it that meaning, and we can take that back and make another choice. To see it from a different mind, from the mind of Christ. Change about your mind on what you want to see. And all the world must change accordingly. Wow. Can you really see what that's saying? That if I can change my mind on what I want to see, that all the world will change. The Course teaches not to try to change the world, but to change the way you see the world, your perception of the world. Ideas in our mind, they leave not their source. All of these ideas are in our mind and they haven't left. The central theme, this is the central theme, that ideas do not leave their source, is often stated in the text and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It's not pride which tells you that you made the world you see and that it changes as you change your mind. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, that this world is impervious to what you think, and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. To say that that's the prideful thing, to say it's not, that I have no control, this is just happening to me, instead of I'm happening to it. But if we can see that is a mistake by letting go of all that we thought this world was, that's our ticket to freedom, to see it with a different mind. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. There's that mind-blowing statement again. There is no world. Not everyone is ready to accept it. And each one must go as far as he can let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and go still further, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. So this idea that there is no world is hard to accept for all of us, and some of us will receive it. Some of us will, I don't know if I can go along with that, kind of thing. But we will come back to it again. Healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn that there is no world, and they can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. Others find it in experiences that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist, because what they behold must be the truth, and let it clearly contradicts this world. And some will find it in this Course in Miracles, and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. I mean, if it's true of what I really am is the Son of God, perfect, incapable of being hurt, incapable of dying, incapable of being sick, incapable of suffering. I'm one with the Father. And then I look around and see this world that contradicts that. Then the world I'm looking at, if that's the truth, then this can't be real. I can't be real. Me here, Micah, in this body, going around, doing these things that I do, having these relationships, none of this exists. I'm just a character in a dream. But I'm not just a character in a dream. But I think I'm a character in this dream. And so I'm letting go today of all these ideas that all of this is real. Because I can't see two worlds. can only see one. And so I need to change my mind. So some will find this idea in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. And if it is indeed your own imagining, the world, our own imagining, then you can loose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go of all thoughts of sickness. The dead raise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. Perfect, sinless. This is the truth about you. The Son of God. Unlimited. Birthless, deathless. That's who you are. And so this actor or whatever this part that you are in the dream is not true. It's not your real self. You haven't fallen. You haven't become a sinner. You're still as God created you. That's the message of A Course in Miracles. And ideas leave not their source. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place here, how can this world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? If that's true, then how could this exist? How could it be real? A lesson earlier repeated must now be... Okay, you're... What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. All that you see is a manifestation of thought. Yet if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from Him. So here's the different mind. The mind that cannot think apart from God. That's our real mind. Nor make what does not share His timelessness and love. Are these inherent in the world you see? Of course not. Does it create like Him? No. Unless it does, then it's not real. And it cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false. For God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was His thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. And me too. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but of God in truth. God shares His fatherhood with you, who are his Son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. What he creates is not apart from him, and nowhere does the Father end and the Son begin as something separate from him, the Father. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate the Father and the Son and break away a part of God himself and thus destroy God's wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? No matter how much it seems real, can it be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind, and you will look upon a world released. Today our purpose is to free the world with all the idle thoughts we've ever held about it, from all the idle thoughts, and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there. This world, all the living things upon it, they cannot be there. And no more can we. That's what blows your mind. I'm not real either. Not this image that I've created of myself. It's not real. For we are in the home our Father set for us along with them, and we who are as he created us would loose the world this day from every one of our illusions, that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute periods in which we practice twice today with this: I who remain as God created me would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not. And I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert, but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed, so that the world is freed along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world, as well as to the ones you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world, but you will sense your own release. Although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. All of us are released together. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you're tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, say, I loose the world from all that I thought it was, and I choose my own reality instead. Well, that's what we do today. That's our lesson. God bless you as you allow these ideas of freedom, allow your minds to be changed by the Holy Spirit, to be brought into your right mind, me to be brought into my right mind, to letting go of all that we've insisted this world be or wanted it to be. And I hope that you just are filled with joy today, and look forward to being with you tomorrow. So Have a great day, and we are one in the mind of Christ. Mahalo and aloha.